Deep breath. Okay, so this is about narcissism, and I want to come from a place of love and compassion and deep understanding, and I don't want to perpetuate this whole cycle that we keep on blaming other people for something that we could actually get empowerment by fixing within ourselves. I'm not saying that the person that is being abused by the narcissist is the problem, but there is some energetic connection there that would attract a narcissist. And the more that I keep looking at this over the 15 years I've been doing this work, is that there is an energetic alignment with that person, that the person that is being abused, they usually don't really know what their own needs are. And they're usually more of a people pleaser, and they more acquiesce. And the narcissist is the kind of personality that they tune into that, and they see that that's a person that I can manipulate, I can control, because they themselves are the most insecure person in the room. If you look at my video titled The Consciousness Holodeck, you'll see more in depth of what I'm talking about here. But we all live in our own kind of sliver of our reality based on the energy, the frequency of consciousness that we embody, be it through our beliefs and our thoughts and our ideas. And that from that place is what we energetically and emotionally attract into our lives. So if we take that, then you could say, and I don't mean to say this in an insensitive way, but there are no victims. And what I mean by that is that everything works out in this energetic way. So I'm not to say that you, the victim that is being abused, shouldn't have any compassion and understanding, and that nothing happened to you. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that we are amazing creator beings with this ability to change our life if we'll come out of the distorted reality of our minds. And what I hear sometimes in the comments, what I read, is this resistance and the triggering of what could be something that could be very helpful. But here's the mind that comes back in, and it wants to resist, and it says, I keep on hearing this, and I keep on getting this fingers pointed at me that I'm the problem. That in it of itself is part of the problem. That someone has already seen that there's finger pointing going on, when all that's happening is one paragraph that's talking about narcissism. And what I'm proposing here is that maybe it's time to start switching the ideas from what the heart knows instead of what the mind knows, or what the mind has been telling. So I know, and I'm speaking this from experience here, that I attracted this in my past, where I would say, in my mind, in my subconscious would say, this is going to happen again. I'm not going to get appreciated. I'm not going to get acknowledged. I'm working my ass off, and I'm not going to get acknowledged when I get home. And of course, that's what would happen. So even if you know there's something within you way back in there that's saying these things, that I'm not going to be heard and that kind of thing, or it's a totally unknown thing that's running a program in your mind, something is happening. And that's what I tend to look at. And I know that my views are a little bit radical, but this is just what I've seen, is that when we start to look at our life in a more empowered way, in a more higher consciousness way, not more spiritual, it's just more of a real way, then there's something going on that I myself, through my beliefs and my ideas and my thoughts and what I've kind of taken into me, the world can only show up that way. And there's this inside of me that wants to resist that and say, yeah, but I'm the victim here. Then we'll go back to the problem again. Once I start finally pulling myself out of any victim consciousness, I say, maybe, possibly, there's something that I didn't want to look at, that there's something that I can finally look at in a different way. And that's when I've always seen in my life and with other people that I work with, when there's been lasting change, and when there's been this aha moment. And that aha moment, that epiphany, can't really be appreciated or seen from a thought. So where your mind is trying to give you this logical thing, well, it's that person, it's not me. It has to be an epiphany where it doesn't come in through thought. It comes in just through this big, wow, I get it kind of thing. And that's what I feel is what I want to try to focus on this video. Okay, with that being said, there's an energetic connection here with the narcissist and the one that's being abused by the narcissist. Then there's this other part where, and I see it also in the comments still, is that we want to understand and diagnose and treat the narcissist like it's something that needs to be treated, that it's something that's the problem, and it's been diagnosed with psychologists, and they all know what it is, and that's the problem. I invite you to stop thinking that way, that there's any problem out there, that anyone needs to change. I know that's a very radical idea, that, you know, yes, there are assholes out there. Yes, there are people that are abusive out there. But what if we said, this is the way that I see the world, and I want to see the world differently. And so there's something inside of me that hold on to this belief that everyone out there that is wrong, doesn't fit into society in some little way or some big way, needs to change. And that's the thing that has really helped me, is that when I finally let go, when I finally surrendered and I said, everyone, especially those people that I really wish I could connect deeper with, everyone does not need to change. Even though I've labeled them as this person or with this problem, with this psychological disorder, what if I allowed the world to be as it is, as messed up as it is, and I loved it, and I appreciated it, and I appreciate that I'm here in this world to do some good, to do something. And the more that I reject the world and label and diagnose the world as this thing that is outside of me, that has these problems, I'm not connected with my own problems, with my own insecurities, with my own things. And I'm not loving that part of myself. You know, I have a really good friend, Anthony Johnson, Mtawasa, and he invited me to just radically look at, what if you are the murderer? What if you are the narcissist and the abuser and all those things? You know, maybe he was talking about different lives and parallel lives, that within you are little pieces of that. And when you judge other people for being a certain way, you judge yourself and you don't love yourself there. What if you just accepted that you are all those things, and you found a way to love yourself instead of just pushing aside those things? It's so... I know it's so radical, and it brings up such fierce resistance sometimes in me, in little parts of me that want to resist that and say, but life is unfair, life should be fair. And sometimes it's not really supposed to be fair. It's just supposed to be God expressing itself. And it's only fair or unfair to the egoic mind. But to the open heart, to the voice of creation, it's all this happening, just this beautiful thing. What if we embrace that? That's what I'm inviting, is coming out of your own mind that wants to hold this story, that I'm the victim, that I see this and people are doing this to me. That I want to see that with you, with compassion and with love and with understanding, that I felt that way myself too. And even that story has kept me in that room. Watch that video about the consciousness holodeck, and there's a little bit more understanding. And it's like, once you get that you've been living in your own room of consciousness, that everything is flavored with that theme. How do I get my ass out of this room? And part of the thing is saying that I am of a like vibration to be in this room of narcissism and insecurity and abusive behavior and manipulation and all that stuff. Have you ever manipulated? Have you ever felt so insecure that you did whatever it took for you to feel safe? If you can say yes to any of those things, then you can start to connect with that narcissist within you. And love that part of yourself, and give yourself some space to say, wow, we're all doing the best that we can. And I also want to say that, that narcissist, that abuser, that murderer, that they all started out as the light. We all come from the same place, and we're all going to the same place. And within that journey, we find ways of coping to feel more powerful, to feel safe, or to feel loved. And so starting out as the light, and then seeing as this person as this narcissist or this abuser or this asshole or whatever, what happened? What happened to that person? There's a little boy or a little girl inside of that person that we're rejecting. And we're just looking at the abusive adult, and we're not seeing that heart within them, that it's deeply hidden inside of them. And once we start to connect with that, then we can start doing some real work. Then we can start to love. Then we can start to affect the planet and affect the world. But until we look inside of that and see behind the defenses, we don't get anywhere. Thank you.